He was just 16. She was 27. It was supposed to be a normal year of high school. But what started as admiration turned into something more profound, and what happened next would change both of their lives forever. His name was Ethan Carter, a quiet junior at Westbridge High School in Ohio. A kid with big dreams, but a shy heart. He didn't talk much in class, mostly kept to himself, the type of student who sat in the second row, not to hide, but not to stand out either. Then came Miss Lauren Bennett, the new literature teacher. She walked into the classroom with grace, with confidence, and a smile that could melt ice. She wasn't just beautiful, she was passionate, intelligent, and profoundly kind. She made Shakespeare sound exciting, which Ethan didn't think was even possible. The first day she spoke, something changed in him. It wasn't just a crush, it was a feeling, like someone finally saw him for who he was. Weeks went by. Ethan became her favorite student, or at least it felt that way. She encouraged his writing, praised his essays, and once told him with a gentle smile, "You've got a voice, Ethan. Don't hide it." He never forgot those words. Ethan began staying after class to ask questions about literature, about poetry, and sometimes about life. Miss Bennett would smile and answer patiently. To her, it was mentorship. To Ethan, it was everything. At night, he'd write poems he'd never show her. Lines like, "She reads my words but doesn't see my heart." He wasn't in love with her body. He was in love with her soul. But the problem, she didn't know, and she couldn't know. One rainy Friday afternoon, something shifted. Ethan stayed late to finish a project in class. Everyone else had left, just him and Miss Bennett. The sound of thunder outside and the quiet hum of her voice reading one of his essays. She looked up. "This is really powerful, Ethan. You're growing." He hesitated, his heart pounding. "Miss Bennett, can I tell you something personal?" She smiled. A gentle, encouraging gesture. "Of course." He took a deep breath. His hands trembled, just slightly. "I know this might sound wrong, and I know you're my teacher, but I think I've fallen in love with you." Silence. Thunder cracked outside, echoing the tremor in the room. Her expression didn't change. Not immediately. She gently set down the paper and said, her voice calm and measured, "Ethan, I need to be very honest with you. What you're feeling, it's not wrong," she said softly, her eyes kind. "It's normal to connect with people who make you feel understood." Ethan looked down, embarrassed, his face hot. "I didn't mean to make things weird." She shook her head, a gentle gesture of reassurance. "You didn't, but you need to know. I'm your teacher. My role is to guide you, not to be the center of your heart." She paused, then continued, her words resonating with wisdom. "You have greatness in you, Ethan. Don't let your heart get attached to people who are only here to build your wings." It didn't feel like rejection. It felt like kindness, the kind that hurt, but ultimately healed. Ethan didn't come to school for 2 days. When he returned, he avoided eye contact, his shame still raw. Miss Bennett respected his space, but he noticed something crucial. She never treated him differently. She still marked his essays fairly, still encouraged him in front of others, still smiled when he raised his hand. And slowly, his heart began to understand. 2 years passed. Ethan graduated, top of his class. He got a scholarship to study creative writing at NYU. At graduation, students gave thank you notes to teachers. Ethan handed Miss Bennett a sealed envelope. Inside it said, "Dear Miss Bennett, you were the first person who saw my voice, not just my silence. I once thought I loved you because I didn't know what love truly meant. Now I realize you were my first mirror. You reflected the best in me. Thank you for being kind, for being strong, and for never crossing the line. You taught me literature, but more importantly, you taught me character. With respect and gratitude, Ethan." Today, Ethan is 25. He's a published author. His debut novel, Letters to Lauren, a fictional story inspired by a teacher who changed everything by doing nothing more than the right thing. She never responded to his letter, but she didn't need to. Sometimes, the best way to love someone is to let them grow and let them go. Life is full of lessons, but not all come from textbooks. Some come from people we admire, who guide us without ever holding us back. Ethan's story isn't about a scandal. It's about maturity, about learning what real love means and when to move on. If this story touched you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Samu 4.0.